What is going on, guys? It's Mr. Banks here coming at you live with another trade recap. Now, I want to go over my SPY trade and call out that I took today for over 142%, making $1,000 on the day. And this is why I took the trade. Want to explain it for you guys so you guys can understand. So next time when you see patterns like this and the price action, you can understand why I take a trade or how to take a trade so it could better your trading. So today, as you guys know, I am in the Wolves Wealth Discord. Took SPY 381 call, 0 date at 95 cents. These ran to 230 for 142%, guys. But what I want to do is actually walk through the trade with you and show you why I took the trade. So, some data that came out today, but what I want to talk about is price action, what I was looking at, what I saw, and why I took the trade. So now as we opened up, we did drop, we got some nice choppiness in the beginning session right here. And then what happened? Well, the first thing that I saw was that we had a hammer, right? There's this inverted hammer here, but right here we have a hammer. What this showed me was that we were holding a strong position. As we know, 378 has been a major level, right? 378, 380, and then 375 to the downside. So when I saw that we held 378, I am now looking for 380 again, right? So as you guys know, you need to understand levels. What are the big levels? You know, if a level holds, we want to look to see it now go to the next level. If that level holds, we'll now want to see it go to the next level. And that is exactly what we saw today. So as we got done with this chop early in the day, we held 378. That was a very, very major level. And what we saw there on 378, guys, I am on the 5-minute time frame. This is how I gauge my entries and exits. I do like the 5-minute a lot. If you use a 3-minute, 1 minute, whatever works best for you, but the 5-minute is what I like, and it's what helps my trading the most. So on this 5-minute, I saw that we had this hammer, right? So this hammer, and we have a downtrend, and we have this nice big hammer. So what this shows me, especially with this long wick, right, on a hammer, is showing me that the buyers are stepping in, right? The buyers are stepping in at this price point, right? They are guarding that big level of 378 at this price point. Now, as we saw the day before, bring this down a little bit. As we saw before, the 378 level right up here, all right, we saw was a big level yesterday as well. Of course, since it is, we broke below it. So now once we recaptured that 378 and we came all the way back up today, 378 was in play, right? And now we saw here, once we hit 378 with this nice hammer, is that we had a lot of buyers step in. And now with this volume, right? Look at this big volume. It is the biggest volume stick on the day, biggest volume candle. You could see that it was a lot of buyers stepping in at that price point. So this tells me that, you know, we have a really big chance to head higher. We have the hammer, right, on this downtrend. Buyers are stepping in, big volume. 378 is a major, major level for us. So these three things combined shows me, okay, we're probably going to be heading up. So now I am looking at calls at this point, right? I'm looking at calls once this happened. We traded AMD in the morning, but I didn't trade any SPY because of this back and forth action, right? We were kind of waiting on the consumer report. So we had this nice big buy come in, right? We're getting this nice big buy. We're getting these nice volume candles coming in. Big buy right here, right? This is what happened right here. We have the consumer confidence sentiment come out, and it shows that it is doing better, that consumers are getting a little bit more confident, right? So we had this big candle shoot up on that data drop. Now, once we came back down, right, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on making the call. I have not made the call yet. As you guys can see, I made the call at 8:15. So let's take a look at where I made this call. So just to recap real quick, 378 was a major level. We came down, we touched it. As you guys can see, we saw that a lot of buyers are stepping in, right? Long wick to the bottom, hammer candle, a lot of buyers are coming in. Then we see a big rush of big buys on this volume candle, right? Big buys once that data dropped, right? So now we see that the volume is rising in the buying direction, right? In the buying direction. I mean, we can even see in the beginning of the day, we had this big buy volume. You have some more buy volume, and then the volume decreases, right? So the volume is decreasing, and then we have big buy volume again. So this is showing me that buyers are stepping up even in the beginning of the day, right? We did have that drop, but buyers are stepping up. And then we had this hammer candle, right? Long wick to the bottom, show me buyers are stepping in, but I am still waiting. Now, what am I actually waiting for? Well, I'm waiting to find a break of this red line. Now, this is pretty much for me a pivot point. This is a support resistance flip. Uh, as you guys can see right here is a major big support. We could see it back here on the close. But even if we go back here, we can see yesterday when we came back to this level of around 379, 380 obviously is a major level. We can see we saw a nice rejection there. And after we couldn't get over this level yesterday, we saw the big drawdown all the way down to below 375. So as you guys can see, this is a major level. Even in the pre-market, right here, we had bounces, right? So 379.63 in this area. This is a major support. We could see back here, it was a major resistance, right? It couldn't get over this area yesterday. And we dropped about 4 points there. And then today we found it as support, right? So that support resistance flip, it was resistance. And now we turn into a major support, big bounce off of it in the pre-market. So this is my level. So now I'm not going to take calls just because I see the big buy volume coming in, right? We see it also heading up right here. What I want to see is an actual break and hold of this level, right? So we can see below today that we broke down again. Nice resistance here, right on the money from the support turn resistance, and we broke down. So now I want to see that break, right? I want to see this resistance level break and turn into support again, right? Does that make sense, guys? It was once a major resistance. I want to see that now flip into a major support. So I'm not going to take calls until I can see that, yes, we regained this major level and we can now take calls with confidence that this support resistance that keeps flipping has now turned back into a major support. We had the buy volume come in, a lot of buy volume, and then we had this inverted hammer, right? So inverted hammer is usually a nice candlestick pattern, reversal pattern that you can see come back up, right? So as we can see right here, 815 is when I made that call. You could see it held that support right here. Is resistance now turning into support. Nice long wick down, not really breaking down. And I made the call, and now it ran 142%. Right, made it, took the call. This is why, right, guys? So does that make sense? I'll just recap that real quick for you guys. So, couple things: price action is what a lot of people talk about, but they don't really explain it. So price action, what I'm looking for on price action, right, is candlestick movement. I am looking at volume, right? I am also looking at support resistance flips, right? So all of this is showing me price action, right? It's showing me, is there a support going to be held, or is it going to turn to resistance? Are there's going to be a nice reversal candlestick pattern? Right? Are the candlesticks showing me that buyers are stepping in this case, and we are going to head higher? And then lastly, I'm looking at the volume. Volume is also telling me that buyers are stepping in. We're seeing big buys come in, and we are heading higher, creating newer lows. So price action is going to be candlestick, volume, and then for me, also looking at major support and resistance areas. So again, we saw that this once major resistance back here turned now into a support. And once we broke below, turned into resistance again. What I'm looking for is that what happened was we came down, nice big hammer candlestick, big buy volume coming in, right? On that consumer sentiment drop data, big buy volume coming in. We even had it in the beginning of the day. And then, so this is another thing, big buy volume comes in and then volume starts decreasing, showing me that buyers are present, showing me that sellers aren't really stepping up for the day, right? If we had a big buy volume, but even bigger sell volume coming in, then that would show me, okay, this big buy volume in the beginning really wasn't that true, right? Shows me that sellers are now stepping in again and trying to take over. But we had this big buy volume and then we had a volume decrease, showing me that yes, the buyers are trying to step up and win today. The sellers aren't really stepping in. And right here, we show the buyers stepped in at a major level, right? 378. And then we saw a big buy volume again, right? So buyers are taking control, especially at 378, showing me that we want to head higher. We have a nice candlestick reversal on the inverted hammer right here, right? On the inverted hammer, nice candlestick reversal. And then at 8:15, we finally broke over this, resistance, right? That was once major support, right? As you guys can see right here, we finally broke over. This is when I made the call out, took the calls that ran 142%. So I hope you guys could understand that. Volume, right? Volume, I'll go over it again. Volume, candlestick patterns, right? Showing long wicks and a hammer, showing that buyers are stepping in, volume, buyers are stepping in. And then I'm waiting for this break of this once support, now turn into resistance, and waiting for that to break in order to take calls and see that it has found this resistance, right? It was reached support and we came back down. We're finding it as resistance. And now I want to see that this resistance is now turning back into support before I take my calls. So this is why I took the calls today. Hope you guys understand that. Hope you guys better understand price action. We could even take a look. I pulled up TradingView. So let's just take a look at what happened in the live action, right? So we're coming down, boom. It's going a little bit fast. But as you guys can see, I could even, let's speed it down just a little bit more. So as you guys can see, there wasn't too much sell volume coming in, right? The volume is decreasing at this point. The volume is decreasing at this point. And you guys check that out. You see how this candlestick came down, right? 378 major level, boom, right back up. Buyers are stepping in big time right there, right? Buyers are stepping in big time. And now I'm playing it really slow for you guys so it doesn't move too fast. And now this is where we had a major run up right there on that data drop, right? And if we go back here, you can see that volume coming in, major run up. Now let's go back to the live. And we can see, right, we're holding this too. We came back up and now we're holding above this level, right? So this would essentially be a resistance level we're breaking up above, just like I said earlier, right? This level right here, what I wanted was to break above and hold this as support. So when you guys are seeing a nice reversal, right, come back up, we want to start seeing these resistances now turn into support, which is exactly what you see right here, right? We're holding this level right here, and now we're creating a higher low, right? We're breaking to the upside and holding to the upside, which is showing movement. The momentum is now going up. So we'll let this play out a little bit more. Boom, we came back down, right? You see that come back down. And then buyers stepped up big time again, right? So we're stepping up big time. You could see these candlestick bodies. We're showing long wicks to the bottom, right? Long wicks to the bottom, another long wick to the bottom. Keep breaking above resistance, right? So this would be a resistance. We broke above resistance. We're now holding that as support, breaking above, right? You can kind of guys see this in live action now play out, right? So we're seeing these resistances. Now we're breaking above and holding them as a support, right? We're holding them as a support. So we came up, came back down, and what happened here, right? What happened here? Buyer stepped in again, and look at where this body closes. It is closing above this. It closed actually right on this support, was once support turned resistance, right? So we closed right on that. And now we're going to drop down again, right? So we found it as resistance, right? We found what this support, in the pre-market, we found this as resistance, right? Right here. Boom. You guys see that? Found as resistance. We came down a little bit, no major sell-off, and then buyers stepped in again, and we found this as support and took the calls and ran it up, right? So you guys saw that now play out in live time and saw how that works, right? Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed this today. We went over some candlestick patterns, a hammer, inverted hammer. We went over how we need to find, once we're moving momentum up, we need to break resistances, right? And hold them as support in order to have that confidence and confluence to take the calls, right? So hope you guys enjoyed this. Till next time, Mr. Banks is out.